too. Is it
Yeah,
recording?
it's going. Yeah.
I hope so. Longest for the public.
Yeah, it is. Ready?
Yep.
I call the regular village board meeting for May 6th to order at 6 o'clock. Please rise and welcome Scout Troop 98 Post Colors.
Color guard attention. Color guard forward march. Color guard halt. Color guard cross the colors. Color guard post the colors. Will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Color guard reform. Color guard about face. Color guard forward march. Color guard halt. Color guard dismissed.
Good job, Jeff. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Roll call, please.
Trustee Howe.
Here.
Trustee Shaw.
Here.
Trustee Kuhn. Here. Trustee Strauss.
Here.
Trustee Stein.
Here.
And Trustee Gary.
Here. Thank you. We have a few proclamations for this evening. First one is Arbor Day. Arbor Day proclamation. Whereas this holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. And whereas Arbor Day is celebrated throughout the nation and the world as a special event to promote the planting of trees. And whereas wherever trees are planted, they are a source of joy and renewal and provide improved water quality and recreation. And whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce life-giving oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife and watershed protection. And whereas the Village of Wauconda strongly encourages individuals and organizations to value trees and plant appropriate species in appropriate places and keep them properly maintained so we may have large, beautiful shade trees in all parts of our country. Now therefore be proclaimed that I, Jeff A. Mayor of the Village of Wauconda, do hereby proclaim May 10th, 2025 as Arbor Day. And the next one, drinking water proclamation. Whereas water is our most valuable natural resource, and whereas tap water delivers public health protection, fire protection, support for our local economy, and quality of life we enjoy, and whereas our public works employees and engineers design and construct capital projects, ensure the safety and quality of drinking water, and maintain and repair the infrastructure upon which we rely, and whereas we are all stewards of the water infrastructure. And whereas the citizens of Wauconda are called upon to help protect our source of water from pollution, practice water conservation, and learn more about the importance of maintaining our water system. Now therefore be proclaimed that I, Jeff A. Mayor of the Village of Wauconda, do hereby proclaim May 4th through the 10th, 2025 as Drinking Water Week. Final proclamation is Building Safety Month. Whereas the Village of Wauconda is committed to reorganizing that our growth and strength depends on the safety of our buildings. Whereas our confidence is the resilience of our buildings that make up our community is achieved through the vigilance of community development and fire district employees. And whereas Building Safety Month is sponsored by the International Code Council to remind the public about the crucial role of our community's largely unknown protocols of public safety. Our code officials who assure us of safe, sustainable, and affordable buildings that are essential to our prosperity. And whereas the theme for Building Safety Month 2025, Game On, encourages all to raise awareness about building safety on a personal, local, and global scale. And now therefore be proclaimed that I, Jeff A. Mayor of the Village of Wauconda, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2025 as Building Safety Month. All good things. On to public comments. You will have 3 minutes to speak and no action will be taken. Scott Neville.
Hi, my name is Scott. I live at 109 West Church. And if you drive up and down Church Street, the restoration that was done due to the water main project is atrocious. Everybody has weeds and dandelions. My neighbor, who is anal about her lawn, still has yellow grass. My neighbor, who I helped cut his front lawn, it's 6 inches low in the middle. It is, his lawn was tore up 4 or 5 different times. It is still just a mess. I come from a standard, I'm a local 2 union laborer, and the way that was restored was just disgusting. They didn't put barely any black dirt back down. They threw seed on it, threw straw on it, and just left it for us, the homeowners, to fix. And that's ridiculous. I was hoping the village, since we did this project, could finish the project of making our lawns at least decent again.
We'll look into that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Susan Bachala.
Mr. Mayor, village board members. I'm Susan Spihala. I've lived in the village for 38 years, and I thank you for all that you do on behalf of the village of Wauconda. If I were sitting where you do, I believe the top consideration I would have in making decisions is safety. I emailed each of you the issue of loose and attacking dogs in our village. 3 times I or my dog have been attacked while on our fenced-in property or walking on leash in our neighborhood. Dog leash and restraint is not just a village ordinance, but it's a state law. Up to this point, no tickets or fines have been issued to owners of the attacking or loose dogs that have rushed at me, my husband, and my pet. I am not even certain that residents are aware that their dogs should be properly restrained. When I ask them to come into the street and get their dog, they just stand where they are, calling the dog to no avail. When I bring their attention to the fact that leash laws exist, they, in not so many 4-letter words, tell me off, and the event repeats itself. I have contacted the community service officer with addresses of these loose dog owners, but have received little or no feedback, and the loose dogs continue. So in desperation and in fear of walking in Wauconda, I come to you, I ask and I plead for your assistance. Talking to offenders has done very little. I recommend perhaps first fines imposed on both property owners and renters of loose dogs, vicious dog postings on home fronts of known biters, muzzles on the biting dogs when they are outdoors, and enforcement of laws and ordinance that go beyond words, perhaps issuing of tickets and fines. Currently, there are no repercussions for the attacking animal or their owners. The repercussions seem to fall on the victims. Paying for veterinary and medical bills does not ensure future safety. Please consider new ways to educate the community and enforce dog restraint laws. This will go a long way to help heal my emotional scars, if not the physical scars both me and my dog bear. I am not a litigious person. Over the past few years, however, I have completely and fully understood why people sue those who neither follow nor enforce laws. More needs to be done, not just for the safety of pets, but also for the children and adults that live in Wauconda. Thank you.
Thank you. On to consent agenda. And clerk, please read the consent agenda.
Be happy to. Item A, approval of the minutes from the April 15th, 2025 regular village board meeting. Item B, Approval of the minutes from the April 22nd, 2025 TIF public hearing. Item C, approval of the bills for payment from April 5th, 2025 to April 20th, 2025 in the amount of $800,701.44. Item D, consideration and approval of a resolution approving change order number 1 with HMG Engineers Incorporated for the sanitary sewer televising and smoke testing projects. Item E, consideration and approval of a resolution approving intergovernmental agreement with the Wauconda Community Unit School District 118 for fingerprinting screening services. Item F, consideration and approval of a resolution appropriating motor fuel tax MFT funds in the amount of $54,210 for the 2025-2026 Lake County joint bid for the purchase of bulk black salt. And item G, consideration and approval of a resolution authorizing the approval of a release of indemnity agreement with Rockford Mutual Insurance Company and their insured.
Thank you. Any items to be moved or removed? Hearing none, may I get a motion and a second to approve consideration of the consent agenda by unanimous vote?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Howe?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Kim?
Yes.
Trustee Strauss?
Yes.
Trustee Stein?
Yes.
And Trustee Gary?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion does carry. Any questions regarding any of the items on the consent agenda? Hearing none, may I get a motion and a second to approve items A through G on the consent agenda by unanimous vote?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Howe?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Kim?
Yes.
Trustee Strauss?
Yes.
Trustee Stein?
Yes.
And Trustee Gary?
Yes.
Thank you. The motion does carry. There is no old business tonight. I may get a motion and a second to call for recess.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are recessed at 6:11. Next item is presentation and recognition. So item A, acknowledgement of the Lake County Canvas Board April 1st, 2025 municipal election results, which are Jeff Sodi, 1,330 votes. Gary Myers with 335. Clerk Radcliffe, 1,446. No opposition. Tim Howe had 1,198. Sam Stein had 1,152. Matt Brown had 1,162. Wendy Walker, 413. Lisa Noga, 408. And Sandra Massa, 393. And the next on the agenda is the swearing in. So,
This way.
thank you,
Good.
Judge.
Is that your best angle, or you want this side?
That doesn't matter. Okay, whatever your best is.
That's as good as it gets.
Yeah, pretty much.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Henry Tonigan. I'm a retired circuit judge. I live in close proximity to the village to the south, and I'm the village hearing officer for the administrative adjudication.
Yes.
It's my pleasure to swear in the officials here today. Jeff, would you raise your right hand? I state your name.
I, Jeff A. Sodi,
Repeat after me. Having been elected to the position of president
having been elected to the position of president
for the village of Wauconda
for the village of Wauconda,
in the county of Lake,
county of Lake,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of president
the duties of president
for the village of Wauconda
for the village of Wauconda
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Gigi? Clerk Radcliffe is next. After you.
Raise your right hand, please. I
I,
state your name.
Virginia Radcliffe,
Having been elected to the position of village clerk
having been elected to the position of village clerk
for the village of Wauconda
for the village of
in the
Wauconda
county of Lake,
in the county of Lake,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of village clerk
the duties of village clerk
for the village of Wauconda
for the village of Wauconda
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Sam and Tim. and
Yeah, we're going
Matt,
trustees at the
all
same
three
time.
together, please. Thank you.
Gentlemen, would you please raise your right hand? I state your name,
I, Tim House,
having been elected to the position of trustee
having been elected to the position of trustee
for the village of Wauconda
for the village of Wauconda
in the county of Lake,
in the county of Lake,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of trustee
the duties of trustee
for the village of Wauconda
for the village of Wauconda
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
We're just going to take a quick break, but I want to recognize Jennifer Kuhn. She couldn't stay with us. She had to run out right away for her dedication and 4 years of service as trustee. So let's give her a big hand. We're just going to take a quick break. And first item is new business. Item A, consideration and the approval of the following appointments for a 2-year term ending April 30, 2027. Economic Development Commission, appointment Sam Stein as chairperson, appointment Tim Howe as vice chair. Village Services, reappoint Tom Shaw as chair, appoint Dave Geary as vice chair, appoint Matt Brown as member. Natural Resources, reappoint Nicole Strauss as chair, appoint Dave Geary as vice chair, appoint Matt Brown as member. Any questions? Hearing none, make a motion and a second to approve. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Starting all over.
Oh, do we start again?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wanna do it again?
No.
We're good? Okay.
I heard it here, as well as here, that's why I'm like, who moved, who seconded, yeah.
No problem. We're all good?
Sorry, go ahead.
All right, done?
There was a voice vote, yes?
Yeah, the vice vote was all ayes.
Yes.
No nays.
All right. Congratulations.
And item B, appoint the following to a 3-year term on the Economic Development Commission ending April 30, 2028. Reappoint Crystal McClure, appoint Julie Lockhart, appoint Kelly Lincoln, reappoint Maria Weisbrook, appoint Connor McDowell. Any questions? Hearing none, may I get a motion and a second to approve item B under new business?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And to item C, reappoint Tom Shaw as Deputy Liquor Commissioner for a 2-year term ending April 30, 2027. Questions? Hearing none, motion and a second to approve item C under new business. So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. On to D, reappoint Tim Howe as President Pro Tem for a 2-year term ending April 30, 2027. Questions? Hearing none, motion and a second to approve item D under new business.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
You do roll call on this one, this is a resolution.
Okay. Item E, approval of a resolution appointing the Village of Wauconda's representatives, trustee Matt Brown to serve as director, and trustee David Geary as the alternate of the Solid Waste Agency of Lake County, Wauconda Board of Directors. Any questions? Motion is second to approve item E under new business.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Howe?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Strauss?
Yes.
Trustee Stein?
Yes.
Trustee Gary?
Yes.
And Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion does carry. And to item F, reappoint Michael Braccolino to the Police Pension Board for a 2-year term ending April 30, 2027. Questions? Hearing none, may I get a motion and a second to approve item F under new business?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And to item G, appoint the following to the Zoning Board of Appeals Planning Commission for a 5-year term ending April 30, 2030. Jeffrey Freeman, John, is it Rouleau? Rouleau. Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none, may I get a motion and a second to approve item G under new business?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I just named Jeff Freeman, but I yay to John.
Okay. Motion does carry, 5 yeas, 1 nay. And to item H, under new business, reappoint Brad Mayer as chairman to the Zoning Board of Appeals Plan Commission for a 1-year term ending April 30, 2026. Any questions? We get a motion and a second to move item H under new business.
I'll make the motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion does carry. And to item I, reappoint Dave Jakubek as vice chair of the Zoning Board of Appeals Plan Commission for a 1-year term ending April 30, 2026. Questions? Hearing none, motion and a second to approve item A under new business.
Aye.
Aye.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion does carry.
Sorry.
I know.
I don't get to vote.
That's why you're here. And to item J, consideration and approval of a resolution authorizing the approval of a contract with National Industrial Maintenance Incorporated for lead line service inspection. Superintendent Markle.
Thank you, Mayor. Over the last year, the board's been informed of the requirements for service line inventory that needs to be made throughout the village. This is for the drinking water service lines that feed the homes and businesses in the village. Our water section has been completing inspections over the course of the last 2 years. This has been the primary focus on the interior of these homes and businesses to identify the material type that the service lines are made of. The project that is before you is, it involves hydro excavation at the E-box, which is located outside on the property, so that we can dig down to the pipe and determine the material type on both sides of the E-box. That's so that we can eliminate both the service line between the main and the B-box, and then the service line continuing on into the house. This is required by the EPA as part of the inventory that we put together. We had HMG engineers put together a project scope and went out to bid with National Industry Maintenance being the low responsive and responsible bidder. And staff recommends approving a contract with National Industry Maintenance for an amount not to exceed $180,000.
How many lines are they going to inspect?
First year, 2025, we're going to do 230 inspections.
How many total?
Total, we've got about 1,300 to go.
And we have identified every single lead line service in the village?
Not yet.
So far we have over 1,300 that we know of.
1,300 unknown services right now to go.
And how many are in this contract? Just the one?
2025, we have 230. There's an option to extend the contract 2 more additional years. So we would be targeting 200 in 2026, and then another 200 in 2027.
So look at about 5 years to get through all this?
Pardon?
Look at about 5 years to get through all of it?
It depends,
Roughly.
we could add our own efforts, to do the effort, but the concern is, it's a lot of wear and tear on the equipment.
Sure. Is this, so the lead lines, when we find lead lines, right now it's just inspecting to see if they exist, or are we actually replacing?
While we inspect to see if they exist, they get added to our total, and there's going to be a requirement to start replacing them starting in, Jake, help me out here, 2027.
And are we
And then we
responsible?
have 2037 to have them all out.
So are we responsible for past the B-box too?
Yes.
So all the way to wherever it ends, to the water meter or something?
And this has been, the
Within, I
EPA
believe, 18 inches inside the house.
Okay.
Yeah, EPA has been moving the goalposts each, almost on a monthly basis with this, so these rules could change, and we might be before you again with
How much of the yard do we need to tear up to do these?
This would be about an 8-inch hole. It's similar to the vac truck that Public Works has, and they dig straight down. Obviously, there could be conflicts with pavement, sidewalks, so the contractor's been instructed to seek permission from Public Works prior to proceeding in those instances.
Okay.
Do they report to the EPA or do we report?
We would be receiving a report from them that would essentially go into a report that we generate for the EPA.
Notification of residents?
Absolutely.
Any further questions? Hearing none, may I get a motion and a second to approve item J under new business?
So moved?
Second?
Roll call, please.
Excuse me, trustee Howe?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Strauss?
Yes.
Trustee Stein?
Yes.
Trustee Gary?
Yes.
And trustee Brown?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion does carry. On to item K, consideration and approval of a resolution expressing official intent regarding certain expenditures to be reimbursed from the special tax allocation fund or and/or from proceeds of an obligated issue, if any, in connection with a proposed tax increment financing district commonly described as Wauconda Project Area 2, Downtown TIF District. Administrator Mattson.
Thank you, Mayor. The village board and village staff have been working through the eligibility process and designation process for a new TIF district along Main Street, and that would be formally considered by the village board over the next couple of months. This resolution authorizes staff to reimburse the general fund, take actions to reimburse the general fund for expenses that have been incurred in the establishment of the TIF, including the fees for the study, the public hearing notices, and any upcoming TIF eligible expenses once the TIF goes into place that would happen before the TIF begins to generate increments. So now that we have the budget in place, this resolution allows us to begin planning for that side of things. And again, if the board does not put the TIF in place, those would just stay expenses out of the general fund. There would be no TIF eligible activities authorized.
Questions? Hearing none, we get a motion and a second to approve item K under new business.
So moved.
Village attorney, do I need to abstain from this? Or is this?
Yes, you should.
Yeah.
Second. Roll call, please.
Recuse, rather. Recuse.
Who seconded?
Matt.
Okay, thank you. All right, trustee Howe, you're abstained?
He's recusing.
He's recusing, okay.
For his conflict.
Okay. And then trustee Shaw?
Yes.
And trustee Strauss?
Yes.
Trustee Stein?
Yes.
Trustee Gary?
Yes.
And trustee Brown?
Yes. Motion does carry. On to item 16, public hearing. Motion to continue public hearing for the annexation of 26609 North Illinois Route 59 to May 20, 2025. This is just a continuation. And Mr. Manson, explain that a little bit?
Yeah, so we were approached by the owners of the property that's just at the intersection, south of the intersection of Route 59 and Route 12, Barrington Road. There's a barn there and a house. They asked to annex into the village because they were using it in a way that is not permitted under the county zoning code. And so this has gone through the public process at the Plan Commission level. It will be before the village board. One of the steps in our code calls for a public hearing. So we had prepared for the public hearing and notified the taxing districts. However, we're making some changes to the annexation documents with the petitioners for the annexation. So since we had this scheduled, we want to open the public hearing and continue it, and we would bring it back to you at a further date.
Okay.
So just to clarify, they came to us asking to do this, we didn't?
Correct. They came to us asking to annex.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions? Hearing none, may I get a motion and a second to approve item A under the public hearing?
So moved.
Roll call, please.
And you're getting the second, Matt. Okay, trustee Howe?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Strauss?
Yes.
Trustee Stein?
Yes.
Trustee Gary?
Yes.
And trustee Brown?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion does carry. On to the mayor's report. All right. First, I'd like to thank Jennifer Kuhn for her dedication and service to our community as trustee over the last 4 years. We wish her the best in her future endeavors. And I would like to thank the following people for their service to our community in the committees that they served on. Rob Fosses and Peter Graves, who served on the Zoning Board of Appeals. Betty Taylor, Glenn Starkey, and Megan Martinez, who served on the Economic Development Commission. Susan Kramer, Andrew Dunham, Ed Lockmeyer, John Lambert, Brittany Barth, Robert Stein, James Carr, Lynn and Lee Riley, who all served on the Bangs Lake Ad Hoc Committee, which kind of disseminated the study done by ILM. And I would like to thank our cruise night committee members, Elise and Joe Couture, Trustee Shaw, Trustee Strauss, Chuck Black, Mark Wortham, and Cheryl Falk Novak. Every year is challenging, working out the logistics. This year is especially challenging with the new logistics and procedures, with the changing of getting the cars in and out, and the restrictions that were placed on us by some of our parishioners, I guess. And I'd like to send a special shout out to Cheryl. She's not going to be on the committee this year, but she did a tremendous job. She's going to be missed, and she's going to be missed around the village. She's going to be moving to Winter Lake near her daughter, so wish her the best. And we have a new online process for boat registration. You can go online, register and pay, and all your paperwork is complete. And then when you have the safety inspection out on the lake or wherever it might be, by the Marine unit, they should have all the information, paid for it, get the inspection done. This new process will greatly expedite both registration and safety inspections. And I'd like to thank Director McManus, Lori Amp, Director Anderson, Police Department, and the Marine unit for all their hard work in putting this program together. They've been working on it for quite a while, and to get it done before boating season was quite a task, so thank you for that. And I'd like to congratulate Kristen Kolar on her receiving the Rising Shield of Law Enforcement Award from the Illinois Association of Police Chiefs. She was one of only 2 awards that were presented, so it's quite an accomplishment. We have a couple new staff members. Devin Mueller, former fire chief, I think, or deputy chief, is going to work as a seasonal locator for Public Works, and Scott Lawrence is the seasonal marine officer. And I would like to wish Ashley Anderson the best as she took a position as a police officer for the Glenview Police Department. Ashley served as our CSO for 2 years and did a great job for our community. I'd like to recognize the following staff members on their May work anniversaries. Ellie Guerrero at 23 years, Greg Anderson, 6 years, Conrad Seck, 3 years, and Julie McManus at 2 years. And I would like to welcome back Philip Radcliffe, Gigi, Trustee Tim Howe, Trustee Sam Stein, and welcome Trustee Brown to the village board. You are all in good company. I'm honored to serve alongside such a great board who has the best interests of our community in mind. So thank you. And I'm honored to serve our great community for another term. I'd like to thank all who supported us over the last 4 years and the election. We are dedicated to serving our community and look forward to continuing to make Wauconda a great place to live, work, and play. So thank you. And lastly, actually most important, I'd like to wish my wife Patty, my better half, a happy anniversary, as yesterday marked 24 wonderful years, and for being my #1 supporter. Although there were times during the campaign that 24 years looked questionable. That's all I have on trustee comments and committee reports. Trustee Howe.
Thank you, and congratulations, Mr. Mayor, on your reelection as well. As we start a new village board term, I want to recognize all the folks who serve on the various committees and commissions who were appointed tonight. They all work hard behind the scenes, doing the heavy lifting on a wide range of important tasks. And I want to wish all the moms out there a happy Mother's Day. That's it.
Perfect. Thank you. Trustee Stroud.
I'm thinking you should go last for comments, and Trustee should go first. I would like to thank Trustee Kuhn for her 4 years dedication and service to Wauconda. It's not an easy job, but I appreciate that she did that. I'd like to welcome Trustee Brown. Welcome to the fun. I want to congratulate the whole Wauconda Strong Slate for the election results. Great job. I want to, I see you went too fast on yours. I'm missing something. And I'd like to wish my wife and my mother a happy Mother's Day coming up.
That's it. Trustee Strauss.
Yes, once again, very sad to see Jen Kuhn go, but very happy to see Matt Brown join us up here. Also want to wish all the mothers a happy Mother's Day, and also my mother, a very happy 70th birthday, which will be on Saturday. And my son Dylan, a happy 21st birthday on Sunday. So you can see we are very, very loaded up in Tauruses in my family. And also very happy to see a very new board of committee members joining us, and farewell to those who have left us, and thank you for their service. That is all I have.
Thank you.
I have nothing to add.
Trustee Harry.
You sure? Yeah, I'm good. I want to thank all those folks that the mayor mentioned earlier who served on those commissions and the committees. It's a lot of hard work, so thank you to you all, and welcome the new folks that were appointed tonight. Welcome you, man, to the group. Congratulations to everyone for the re-election. And I have to say, this is one of the toughest weeks I have, because not only do I have my wife's birthday this week, it's our anniversary and Mother's Day. It's a 3-day in a row event for me, so anyway, happy.
Trustee Brown.
Yes, I'd like to just thank the voters who voted for me and for us. I want to let them know that I'm looking forward to working with the whole board here to actually have the village of Wauconda to move forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or concerns? Hearing none, may I get a motion and a second to adjourn?
I'll make it.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned at 6:40. Thank you all.